Okay, this video is about 2 implants that I just spotted on my body. And the one that's on my left shin, I think it's called shin. Well, no, not really shin. It's because it's more like right here. Right down there on my left leg. So my left leg, and the aliens, they only mess with my left part of my body. Like, they put implants in my left ear all the time. It's always my left part of my body. I guess because they know it's my non-dominant part of my body. So yeah, you know, I guess they're pretty smart. But I think that's probably why they do it, because it's my non-dominant side of my body. So they put implants all on my left side of my body. Like my left ear. Oh, that one time when I posted those bruises, was that on my left leg or my right leg? I can't remember. Probably I'll have to go look at that video, but it's probably on my left leg. But well, okay, this implant, it's like I say, now I can barely feel it, but it's still there because I just felt it a second ago. But it feels like an implant, but I'm not really sure if that is. I'm pretty sure it probably is though. But it's on like my left, right there at the right inside, the right inside of my leg right there on my left leg. Feels like a freaking implant. Well, the first time I noticed a physical implant was a few years ago. It was either 2 or 3 years ago, because most of my implants are non-physical. But I noticed a semi-physical one that's in the bottom of my mouth. And I can flick my tongue if I keep doing it a certain way, like my tongue, for like 20 minutes or whatever. I could feel it again probably, but that's probably been there all my life. But I just, you know, I only realized it till a few years ago. See, like right now, I can't feel it. So that's why it seems to be like it's physical, but it just seems to be semi-physical because I can't really feel it 99.9% of the time. But, yeah, so, I'm trying to think, because like I say, most of my implants are non-physical, but the only physical implant I ever had, which was just blatant, was just recently. And that was on July 31st. I mean, it was just blatant. That's why I know the exact day. So it was sometime early Tuesday in the morning when I was sleeping or whatever. I don't know what alien put it in my booty, but they put it right there in my left, like, butt cheek. And it feels as big as a freaking bubblegum ball. You know, one of those small bubblegum balls. I mean, that's what it freaking feels like. Or that's what it felt like. It may have been just as big as a BB, or not much bigger than a BB, but it felt like as big as a freaking bubblegum ball. Like a metal bubblegum ball. And like I say, it was so blatant, and it was so, I mean, it would be impossible to not realize that. You know, so I know they put it in. It was like sometime in the morning of, which would actually have been Wednesday morning when I was sleeping. I don't know who put it in, if it was Greys or reptilians or whatever. But one of them put an implant in, like right in the middle of my butt. Like right there, butt cheek, right in the middle, like up against the bone or whatever. Behind the fat and muscle, up against the bone or whatever. And like I say, they're always messing with my left part of my body all the time. See, left booty, left ear, left leg. Oh yeah, and also when one of the Greys was at my bedside, it was in training, by the way, and I talked about all of that back in 2013 or 2014. A little Grey was in training in my bedroom, and you know, the superiors were talking to him. That's what I felt like anyway. When I was laying there in the bed, wide awake, I felt like his superiors were training him. Now the superiors weren't exactly in the room, but that little bitty being was in the room, and I felt like he was no taller than like 3 feet tall or whatever, and he was just moping around my bedroom. And it's like one of the being or the superior being told him to go knock off my plastic hard arch support onto my lamp base, and so he did. He knocked it off, and it was just right all in my face. Knocked it off, fell onto the lamp base, and I heard a clink. I felt like the superiors told him to do that to tell me, hey, we're gonna do something to you now. So they, the superior wanted him to do, the little being that he was training wanted him to do some paranormal activity, so to speak, so I would know they're about to like mess with me. I know it's kind of weird, but I mean, and the being was completely invisible, and but like I say, I don't feel like the superiors were in the room. It was just that little being that was in training. And I even told Daryl Sims that. And he's like, yes, we have evidence that there are some beings that are in training. And I thought that was like the coolest thing, because I know this being was like in training. And so what he did was he stood there at the foot of my bed, and he took this little probe and was like, bzzz, and he just went from my ankle, but it was my left leg, went from my ankle all the way up to my knee and down again, and that's all he did. But actually, I think there was the bees were really, really active back then, and I think they did do some other things, like the next day or whatever, but I talked about that in another video. But there again, my left part of my body. So the aliens, they must know, okay, well, let's work on, or let's put the implants and all that in the left part of their body, if they're right-handed, or the right part of their body if they're left dominant hand or whatever, left dominant, because they're pretty smart. The aliens are smart. A lot of people act like they're stupid and stuff, like Daryl Sims, but he's full of shit. They're smart as can be. But yeah, maybe some of the little aliens, like the one that was in training, maybe those beings aren't so smart, but those freaking superior ones are smart as shit, you know what I'm saying? Reptilians and greys, they're all fucking smarter than fucking humans, I mean, hello, that's why they can mope around invisible and kill your ass if they want to. Yeah, I think that's pretty smart. We can't kill their ass, so yeah, we're pretty dumb compared to them. So, anyway, so they're always messing with my left part of my body. So anyway, okay, so it was just about a week ago when I noticed the implant. Like I say, like right now, the way I'm sitting, I can't feel the big old knot right there, the big old implant that's in my left ankle, right here and now. But a second ago, I kept feeling it and feeling it and feeling it, and I even had my mom like feel it, and she pressed on it, and it hurt. Ugh. I don't know, maybe because see, when I press on it, it doesn't hurt, but if somebody else presses on it, it hurts. But okay, so where was I? Okay, so yeah, on July 31st, which was about like, because it was like 3 days I had to put up with it at work, sitting in the chair, and I remember thinking like, what the fuck? This is very uncomfortable. And I even went and got a softer chair, which made it much more pleasant. So so yeah, it was like that last no, not 3 days ago, but the week before, around July 31st, that Wednesday, when I went to work, because I didn't notice it on Monday and Tuesday. I didn't notice big old hard rock in my butt cheek, you know what I'm saying? On Monday or Tuesday, I mean, it was very blatant and very easy to feel. So it wasn't, it wasn't something that they put in a long time ago, and I just so happened to realize it. They put it in like on Tuesday, like Wednesday morning, and then because it was Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I had to put up with it, feeling, in the chair at work, feeling how it felt. I mean, it hurt. It just felt like I was sitting on a freaking metal bubblegum ball. But I can tell it was in my skin, in my, all in my skin up next to up next to the bone or whatever. I could tell it was inside, my body and everything. And so then I had to put up with it like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week. So I guess it was Friday or Saturday I started talking to the beans, and I was just like, take it out, take it out, take it out. Will you please take it out? And blah, 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 blah. I thought maybe it would take a few weeks, for them to get the message and take it out. But apparently they got the message really fast. And it was like, see, I was off work like on the 6th and the 7th. And so, like I say, they apparently got the message really fast because they took it out. It was like, okay, I was off. It was pretty much either the 6th or the 7th I noticed. By the 7th, I noticed I didn't feel it anymore. So I think it was either the 6th or the 5th. It was either August 5th or the 6th that they took it out. So they took it out within like 5 days after me asking them to, about 3 days in a row, I was asking them to take it out because it was hurting. Well, actually, it didn't. It didn't really hurt until I realized that it was there. And then when I sat on the floor, I was kind of adjusting my booty around just to feel it even more. And I'm just like, whoa, this is freaking insane, man, because it was, hurting. And even when I first noticed it, when I went to bed that night, it kind of started throbbing because I had already kind of disrupted it. Because once I realized it was there, I wanted to make sure it really was what I knew that it probably was. So I got on the floor. It was just in my butt cheek around and everything. Like, because the floor is hard. So when I was sitting on the floor, I could sit a certain way and it would be like, ow, like you could feel it, And like I said, you could feel it even when I went to work and I was sitting in my chair. And I just kept adjusting around at work like what the fuck, man? So I was just like, this fucker has to go out, has to be out. Because it was bothering me. So I did tell them I didn't give a shit if they took that one out of my leg because it's not bothering me. And they didn't take it out. But this one right in my left booty up next to my bone, they took it out. Because like I say, I told them that it was bugging me and it was hurting. But like I say, it really didn't start hurting until once I realized that it was there and I wanted to make sure it really was what I thought it was. So I started sitting on the floor and like seeing if I could feel it even better. And like I say, I was, if you have something like that, some foreign object, big old metal object, if you sit there and disrupt it like that on purpose, it's going to start throbbing. So I did have some pains like bam, 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 when I went to bed a couple nights in a row because I was making it hurt on purpose because I just wanted to make sure. It's like, well, God, man, is this what I'm really feeling? Is this what I'm really feeling or whatever? So, but yeah, I don't know. It could have maybe been as big as a BB, but it felt as big as a freaking bubblegum ball. Or maybe a tad bit smaller. And like I say, it was right there behind all the fat and muscle up next to, I can't remember what a butt bone looks like, but up next to my bone. And they do stuff like that. They put implants in people's dongs and shit. That's a fact. Everybody knows that aliens do that sometimes. I don't know. They just do it to be dickheads. Why else would they do it? They do it to be a dickhead because if they didn't do it to be a dickhead, they wouldn't be putting it in your butt and your dong. And, and then I got to sit there and ask the service to other aliens to take it out, which proves that another group of aliens were just being assholes. Or maybe they're just, whoever, put it in, they're just not that intelligent. But I don't think so. I think they're just being assholes. And so that's, there's the service to other aliens that will gladly help you and take it out if you ask them to. So anyway, it was just a matter of 5 days and it's out because, okay, I noticed it was out, like I said, either on August 5th or the 6th. And even a second ago, I just wanted to make sure it was out. So I kind of sat on the floor and I'm thinking, yeah, it's got to be out. I don't feel it. It's not there. It's out. But they came and got it out. Or maybe they just shrunk it. Maybe they shrunk it to tiny size of a sand piece or something. But or spick of sand. But it's gone. And Oh yeah, and when they took it out, it must have been, they took it out when I was completely sleeping and stuff, because I didn't sense any, beans at all. When they took it out, they took it out when I was totally asleep. So, you know, sometimes they don't care if you're awake. They'll still do stuff to you, but sometimes they do prefer you just to be totally out and sleeping when they do stuff to you. And that must be that they took it out when I was totally unaware of it, but it was just kind of obvious when it wasn't there anymore. Like, I could even feel it sitting on this futon couch, and like, because it's kind of hard, the cushion is getting old, and so I can feel the metal through the damn cushion. And like right now, like, I'm adjusting my booty and stuff, and I can't feel it, so it's definitely gone. I mean, that bitch is gone. The implant is gone. And I had to do this a few months, well, I don't know, maybe it's been 6 months, 7 months, something like that. When my sister, all of a sudden, at the bookstore, she was like, look what I have in my thumb, the nape of her thumb. And it was a huge freaking implant too, about the size of a freaking bubblegum ball, or about half size of a bubblegum ball. And like I say, I mean, whatever that was in the nape of her thumb right there, it was huge, and that's about how big it felt. I mean, it felt like the exact same implant that they put in my booty cheek right there. Exact same implant. That's what it felt like. Several months ago, my sister at the bookstore, she was like, look at this. And it was clearly a freaking implant. And I was like, oh my God. And so I started talking to the aliens, like, why would you put it there? I mean, it was so big and so physical. And that would even be bothersome, to have something so big like that in right there. That would be bothersome. But it's more bothersome when you have it on your ass like that. But so I started asking the aliens, because I knew that had to be uncomfortable for my sister. So I asked the aliens if they would take it out. Well, guess what? Sure enough, it was like about a month later. And I don't know, how long it had been there since my sister noticed it. It probably was not, because that was pretty blatant too, in your face. I mean, the implant that was in my booty is in my face. The implant that was in the nape of her thumb was pretty much in her face. So I'm sure she noticed it just right after they put it in. And when she showed it to me at the bookstore, I started talking to the aliens for at least a month. And then it was maybe 2 weeks later, we went to the bookstore again, and my sister was like, look, it's gone. And I looked at the nape of her thumb and everything, and I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, so these beans, they're very helpful. Yeah, see, that's what it sounds like to me. Sometimes the mean beans like put weird implants in certain parts of the body, and it's just uncomfortable for the human, so then you gotta ask the nice aliens to take it out. So then it's kind of like the nice aliens don't mind, helping, because they know it's like bad aliens putting the implant there in the first place. I mean, like, I can ask them to try to take the ethereal implant out of the back of my head, but it was the nice beings that put it in there in the first place, so they're probably not gonna take it out. So it makes sense to me. So yeah, so that was pretty weird. I mean, that was just the first time I ever had a blatant physical implant, which was so obvious. And like I say, there's been people, they've had implants in their dong before. Depending on how big it is, I'm sure that didn't feel very good. But because there was somebody on the David Icke forums, he said that there was an implant. It was like in his dong. But yeah, so anyway, the aliens are tampering with a lot. Well, they're tampering with the whole world, but as far as implants and stuff, physical implants, who knows? But they're tampering with the whole world, some way, shape, or form. That's kind of obvious. But yeah, so what was I going to say? Yeah, so they did take it out. They took it out of my left butt cheek, and they took it out of my sister's, the nape of her thumb, many, many, many months ago, when my sister came to the bookstore, and she's like, look, See, my sister knew she's not even into this alien stuff, but she knew it was anomalous. She knew it was. And but anyway, and then the other day she just makes a comment. Oh, it was just like, what did she call it? I forgot what she called it. Oh, like a little cyst that, it was like a little cyst that, that dissolved. And I'm like, yeah, right. It was a freaking alien implant. That's what it is. And first of all, if you're going to have like a cyst, it's not going to dissolve. You have to get it like surgically removed. You know what I'm saying? Because my stepdad had a cyst on his shoulder. And he had to get it like surgically removed, you know? But yeah. So that's I do have another video about implants that's in my body, but that was like a few years ago. I posted that video and I mainly talked about all the non-physical implants that are in my body. But yeah, it freaks me out when they start doing physical things. I don't like that at all, you know? But if it's not bothering me, I don't mind it. Like that one that's in my mouth. I mean, like I say, I can't even feel it 99.9% of the time. I have to work hard with my tongue to get it up and feel it, to flick it up and feel it. Like right now, I can't feel it. But that implant is like the half size of a BB, and it's in the bottom of my mouth. And like I say, it's probably been there for years and years and years and years, but I just noticed it. I only noticed it like a matter of 3 years ago. And I probably have other ones too that I just haven't came to realize yet. I know one time back in 2014, I don't know what the hell they did. They put something on my left side, over on my left side, and because I felt it for like a month. It felt like something that was alive in there, you know? Like, I don't know, like a little... And if you watch some weird alien movies and stuff, they'll show weird things like that are alive. Weird implants or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, I didn't really like the sensation or whatever. But I was just confident eventually it would go away, you know. But there was something in my left side that they put in there, and I don't know what the hell it was. But it felt kind of alive. And maybe not completely physical, but semi-physical. Like, I don't know. I can't explain it. Because that was like back in 2014. But I didn't like the feeling. You know what I mean? Because I guess I knew it was probably something alien, you know? But yeah, and then I only felt it for about a month. And then it went away. So, no telling what these beings are doing. You know? I mean, they could... put a pin, you know, inside your leg if they wanted to with their ethereal technology. Just like melt it into your physical freaking skin. I don't know how the hell they do it. This world is so freaking bizarre. But you know, they could do anything and everything. But anyway, thanks for listening.